Tiny Cross-H.U.G, man. Welcome to the Trumped Up Live Show, man. Always remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. When you finish the video, hit that hype button. Push me out there so I can do a lot more. I got a lot of exciting things that I want to do for the community, man. Join the community. You know, sometimes you can leave your comments. I'll answer you. I'll respond to you. You can ask questions. You can leave your comments about the video and let me know where I should take the next show. Absolutely, right? But we're going to continue on with our American Power segment. What do you think about when you think about American Power? You thinking about the ethos, right? What is the ethos? That is the grit. That is the responsibility that we have to this country. There are four specific topics that I like to focus on when you thinking about what is the grit of this country. What is the complete culture of this country? Well, first of all, number one, it is the grit, right? Meaning that I will find a way. Donald Trump, for instance, how he is consistently, after getting into this war, he's consistently finding a way where he can get a win out of it, right? That's why he like to call himself a winner. It's all a part of business. It's all a part of I'm going to be an entrepreneur. He just taking it on the form of being in the political arena right now, right? But his business acumen allows him to be a great politician, a great leader, and a great man, in my point of view. But secondly, you got to think about rebellion. So what is that? So don't tell me who I am, Democrats. Don't tell me who I can be. Don't tell me that I got to be stuck in your matrix. Don't tell me that I have to vote for you and be a person about party more than I am about system, because it's the system, the written system, that creates us as a culture, which gives us sovereignty and which ultimately creates the border. Thirdly, it's the hope. What is the hope? Because President Obama ran his campaign with regards to hope. So hope is tomorrow I can hit harder. But I might get hit. I might get hit, but tomorrow I'm going to hit harder. So I might get hit today with bad news. But tomorrow, when I wake up, I'm going to look for improvement. I'm going to look for betterment out of the circumstance, the situation that I am currently in. Almost sound like a Tupac song. What's that Tupac song? He got that song Better Days. It's a lot of artists who can draw off that idea of hope. It's a lot of music that is being developed off this whole idea of hope that gives inspiration, right? Lastly, this is number 4 point, is the responsibility. My freedom means nothing if yours is denied. And I can contribute black people to a lot of that idea within itself. But also white people has been a great contributor to that, because, this is how we have a shared community. This is where we get our diversity from, first and foremost, within the United States. However, when we think about allegiance, not allegiance to power, right, but allegiance to system, and we think about allegiance as being a people and not a party, we must first think about that as the people who are citizens, who have allowed themselves to come under the sovereignty of this nation, right? The subject of the jurisdiction, domiciled in this nation. I bring this up because we haven't heard from the Supreme Court yet with regards to a final ruling, which is expected early July, with regards to the 14th Amendment. But we, the people, are in allegiance to the people. as it is written under the Constitution. So where do we come in and fighting and having bills and having representatives in this country that always seems to want to fight for people that don't belong here, people that are supposed to be here temporarily? If they become a problem, then shouldn't they just be able to go back, be subjected to immediate deportation? And I will say this, I don't think nobody in their right mind would want anybody else to circumvent something that they have had to go through in this country, circumvent the social construct that we have in order for them to be here. If the United States citizens have to abide by a social construct, this is why we have prisons. This is why we have the prison industry, both federal and state. This is why we have courts. Hell, this is why we have a Department of War. Because we all supposed to abide by a social construct, the written system in this nation. Because it's the written system which give this land and the people the power and wants to make other people seek refuge here. Am I right? I believe so. So we're going to continue on with this segment of American Power, because what I find so significant right now is that when we get our leaders to not want to fight for the people who supposed to have allegiance to each other and begin to want to fight for allegiance to somebody else, there should be a bill written up that you can no longer presume leadership within this country. We're going to go into somebody right now who seemingly wants to do just the opposite. Let's take it there.
Welcome back to Takeout. Welcome to the Conversation Corner. The last time extensive immigration reform passed through Congress was 1986. And believe it or not, as a very young reporter at the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I covered stories about how that law signed by President Reagan would be implemented. Right now, Florida Republican Congresswoman Maria Salazar is working to pass a bill she has described as the Dignity Act. She introduced it in July. She was on this program the day she introduced it to talk about it. She's got a new book, Dignity, Not Citizenship. She makes the case that new legislation in this space should bring undocumented workers, quote unquote, out of the shadows, but not necessarily make them U.S. citizens. Congresswoman Maria Salazar is here with me now on the set. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
So, can you be a member of our society with dignity and not be a citizen?
Well, it's a sign of the times and is the art of the possible, which is what politics is all about. So you have a group of 10 to 15 million people who have been here for more than 5 years. I'm not talking about those who came in under the Biden administration, who have been working in construction, hospitality, and agricultural. They have been contributing to the economy. They have American children. They do not have a criminal record. Right. And those people, of course, they are illegals. Sure, they are. They broke the law. But maybe we can make them pay a fine, force them to give us 1% of their salaries, and then let them stay so they can continue contributing to the #1 economy in the world, which makes us the #1. It will provide us with the #1 military in the world.
And what would their status be?
Would
they be
the
green
dignity
card holders?
status.
Would they be permanent residents? What would...
Booyah. He already established that we have certain ways for individuals to have dignity in this country. Are they green card holders? What kind of status do they have? Visas? So what this is a let me buy them some time strategy. Let me buy these people some time to be in this country strategy to me. Right? Because if you had all this time to do what you needed to do to be in this country legally, you even had the opportunity to, if you have established a business in this country, you have the opportunity to sell all your assets off, go back, get some money to go back and have an opportunity to show the United States, like, this is the type of person that I was when I was in your country. I would like to come back and be a participant. You're probably not going to receive the business loans that you did before, but you certainly had the opportunity to sell off all your assets and leave with dignity and come back with dignity. This is a let me find a way to buy them some time strategy, right? Listen, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. It's not that I don't have remorse for these individuals, but you got to make it make sense. You got to make it make sense to the point to where people who have violated the law, the citizens who have violated the law in this country, feel some respect with regards to this issue as well. Because if you had an individual face a fine, have to go to court, have to go to jail, had to go to prison, and you suspect other people to be able to subvert the social construct, the laws, when we already have temporary visa, humanitarian assistance for you to seek refuge in this country. You know, like, what is the conversation about? What you have is you have individuals like, and this is a Republican from Florida. You have individuals like Mrs. Salazar who see people that look like her and want to fight for them instead of having her allegiance be to the United States citizen. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about it. But these are the types of people that we have in our leadership. These are the type of people, the reason why we've had a problem. These are the type of people, the reason why I say that you need to be third generation before you be able to be in a position like hers. Because what you will have is, listen, why is this a conversation when 85% of Hispanics want individuals to vote only if they are a United States citizen? When do people want to wake up to the United States citizen who is an Hispanic terms of what they see when these people walk or come across the border illegally? Because I got more than enough evidence to show that people that's of Hispanic descent don't necessarily want these people over here either. As I go into Montebello, for instance, which is a very nice neighborhood, right? It's not like East LA, right? But when I go into Montebello, Montebello is like the suburbs of the Hispanic culture over here in Los Angeles County, I should say, for instance. Man, they don't want to see all this stuff that you see in East LA. They don't want them people in East LA coming over there into Montebello. And this is the type of things that I'm talking about, because so much in East LA, in downtown LA, in the MacArthur Park area is stuff that they ran away from. So when you want to fight for people that look like you, right? That is a fight for power. That is a fight for something that is not a part of the United States citizenry. You should be ousted from being a representative in Congress, in party, and all that. We need to draw up a bill, because this is how the United States get infiltrated. And it all begins to stem and happen after the Immigration Act in 1965, to where you can see this consistently. Consistently. It's about party. It's about people within the party. And I'm surprised, because she's a Republican out of Florida who wants to fight for this. And it makes no sense, because here they are, we've given them options to have dignity, but she wants to heighten that dignity when they did something illegal in the first place. It is called unlawful entry.
They be.
They will have dignity for 7 years, and they can always apply for another 7 years. And then after that, another legislator can come and determine what are we going to do with them.
I see.
But not right now. It took us 40 years to get here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring some common sense to the Republican Party. And I'm telling you that the only guy who can really make this happen is called Donald Trump. That's why I dedicated the book to him and saying, hey, you could be for immigration, what Lincoln was for slavery, and Reagan was for...
Oh my God, there is no comparison, lady. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh my gosh. And I said, gosh, I got to stop from using that word. So excuse me, people. But are you serious? That just like a slap in the face, man. It's unbelievable. To where black people are steady getting drug into this when there is not anyone else in the world who has been through what black people has been through in the world. What black people has been through in this country. The culture that black people has given this country, all the inventions that the black people has given to this country, just for them to, what it seems, right, be forced to accept what is happening, the war that has been against them. Because every time you allow an illegal immigrant to come over here, you're taking a job away from primarily somebody out the black community. Because when I go into Beverly Hills and I see all these people that is taking care of the houses, taking care of these rich people kids, right? The elite kids taking care of their houses. Them used to be black people jobs. Those were jobs that my grandmother and my great grandmother would do. And it's not to say that these individuals can't do it in the same, but they've just been cut out by low wages. They've been cut out by the attack within the media of who black people necessarily are. You know what I'm saying? That these people work harder. Like, man, don't take away from the responsibility that that black people have given to this country to be sought as something that could be more than how the United States thought them to be. So it's embarrassing for her to even want to sit here and say that these people don't already have dignity. They do.
For communism.
You pray that he'll read it and consider these arguments.
Well, I dedicated it to him saying, you don't got to read it. The only thing you have to do is embrace the concept.
In the book, you write, I'm a product of America's immigrant story.
Yes.
America took my family in where no one else would. My parents arrived in the United States as political refugees from Cuba with only $5 in their pockets and the clothes on their backs. Could they have met the standards that your legislation seeks? $7,000 a year over 7 years, plus 1% of their income, and no possible hope of ever getting Medicare or Social Security, even though their taxes would pay into that system?
The thing is that the Cubans came in legally because Cubans they were political refugees.
Had a status, right.
Correct. And they were able to come in because of Bay of Pigs, because of, the Cubans we have been very close to the United States, and we had the most cruel dictatorship in the Western Hemisphere, Fidel Castro. But I'm talking about those people who did break the law, who came in, and that's a civil offense, is not a criminal offense according to the books. So since they do not have a criminal record, meaning that they have not raped anybody, I'm not talking about DUIs, I'm talking about people who are clean.
Yeah. And can pass a background check without any problem.
Of course, and they have been here for more than 5 years, and they have been contributing to the economy, and we need them now.
Congresswoman, you know that
we need them to open up the doors for the United States citizens. We need them to either be here legally. You can train, you can hire, I don't even want to say hire, because first and foremost, it was supposed to be for the benefit of the United States citizen for you to be here in the first place. So why are you, if you you know, it's all right to do the hard work. If you got your grit in the grinding and you put in all the footwork to get your business started, right, then that's much appreciated. But if you had to do this off the tax dollars from loans, that's a whole nother story, right? Now, you can seek private loans. You can, I mean, it's, the ideas is out there. But when I look at some of these businesses that are not hiring the United States citizen, and particularly when you look at places like Valera, Vallarta grocery chain, who won't even hire white people. But in the same sense, Whole Foods don't want to hire Hispanics. Whole Foods and Rouse, Albertsons. No, I think it's Rouse. Whatever one it is, have had a problem with hiring Hispanics. Right? So, but here's the thing about it. Now, I could see them fighting for that if they were United States citizens. But the people who run Vallarta grocery store weren't born in this country. You know what I'm saying? The people who necessarily, as Hispanics, who wants to fight for the hiring of Hispanics for places like Albertsons and Whole Foods are citizens. I can see if you could say that they're not hiring Hispanic citizens. That's one thing. But to get here and get business loans and not want to hire United States citizens and target your business towards the hiring, being a type of underground railroad for the benefit of those who have crossed the border illegally and have them working under a table.
The word you're trying to avoid, because it came up after the Simpson-Mazzoli Act was passed in 1986. It wasn't very many years when those on the right.
And not only that, what she's talking about is like, isn't this a violation of the Legal Rally Act? Isn't this, you know, is how many?
Right, said that was amnesty.
All right.
And amnesty has become a letter A.
Yes,
and
like
a
the Scarlet
word,
Letter, right?
Right, that nullifies anything that's in the reformist category.
You got it.
And that's why you say this is about finding what's possible.
Correct.
Because
which is not amnesty and not citizenship, because I'm asking my colleagues, so define amnesty. Right. Amnesty could be anything. I think that amnesty is what the illegals have.
How do you define it?
Well, I think amnesty is what the illegals have now. They have free roads, free schools, and free hospitals, because they're not paying anything. I mean, you have people that have been here for 22 years and they have not paid any taxes, or they have been working.
Well, they've paid state income taxes.
Yeah, or when they go to the shop and they
Medicare,
pay. Yeah.
Social Security tax, they pay sales taxes.
Some of them. Okay. But I want everyone, because this bill will then bring everyone out of the shadows, will make them pay taxes, pay a fine, and pay a levy. So that will create two pots.
The reason why you know that this is only a buy them some time bill is because, man, who's going to subject themselves to want to pay a fine in the first place? Who are going to want to subject themselves to punishment? I don't know nobody who will raise their hand and subject themselves to a whipping. A child wouldn't do that. How many of y'all got kids out there, right? And you know your child did something wrong. And you ask them, did you do this? And they just sit there like watering with their eyes. And they don't want to say yes, but then they know they can't say no. This is the issue with this whole little thing with regards to the Dignity Act. Why this stuff is it shouldn't pass and it has no place within the system that in the culture that we created within the United States, and how these people have gotten amnesty before, but why should we continue to give these people amnesty within this country when they broken the law? And if it didn't work the first time to keep people from coming over here in the first place and having the ability for family reunification under the Immigration 1965, which continues the flow of illegal immigration into this country, both illegal and legal, because I don't know if y'all heard the poll or seen the statistics with regards to even legal immigration. Legal immigration is down a lot. Like, you have got to give the United States citizen a fighting chance in this country economically. And this is the problem right now. Economically, the United States citizen is not given a chance over the illegal immigrant or the immigrant. But you wanted us to sit here and give these people dignity status when they already have possibilities of getting dignity. They already have the possibilities of being asylum seekers.
Lots of
So
money.
when you have this conversation, what do you hear back? You still hear
Well,
from Republicans nervous that it still could be interpreted as amnesty?
Sure.
And
sure.
they can't do it because they can't move?
Correct. And I'm bringing something that is Solomonic to the president and to the GOP, which is not amnesty, is not citizenship, is dignity. Dignity is a biblical word.
Still, what it offers them is a legal status in this country. And that's all they want. Because what's to say that after this period of time that they don't go back into hiding? And if that is the case, like temporary status, would an administration have the possibilities of revoking their dignity status? That's my only questions to this whole thing, because after that, like I said, this is only a buy them some time strategy when, accordingly, more people have left self-deportated than ICE have gotten through, which is a federal bounty hunter, by the way, to me, then have left through ICE, through agencies like ICE. And if you're in California, you're getting out of prison, you can expect the governor of California to give you a pardon under the Immigration and Nationality Act. So you won't even be under supervision like a regular United States citizen would once they get released from prison. You won't have no supervision if you've gotten an order for deportation by a judge, no matter what crime you committed: first-degree murder, rape, robbery, burglary, domestic violence. You can expect a pardon right now from Governor Gavin Newsom. Tiny Cross-H.U.G on the Trumped Up Live Show, man. Always remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments. Hit that hype button. It's a good day to be a soldier.